News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Erica Herskowitz. Iran has delayed the start of negotiations over a permanent peace deal with the U.S. due to intensified fighting in southern Lebanon, where Israel and Hezbollah traded more attacks overnight. The two sides were scheduled to meet today in Switzerland. Reuters is now reporting that a ceasefire has been agreed to by Israel and Iran-Hezbollah militants starting today at 4 p.m. local time, with both sides committing to a truce if the other side does the same. The postponement of the talks represent a setback to U.S. efforts to end the war and curb Tehran's nuclear program, with no indication of a new start date for discussions. Earlier this week, President Trump signed a memorandum of understanding with Iran despite widespread criticism he was conceding too much in terms of financial benefits and relief from sanctions. Meanwhile, Iran has asserted control of the Strait of Hormuz and floating insurance fees as further peace talks stall with the U.S. Bloomberg's Monica Ricks reports.
Iran says ships that cross the Strait of Hormuz need its permission to pass the vital waterway. That's according to the country's Persian Gulf Strait Authority, which posted a document on its website setting the stage for future tolling arrangements by requiring ships to buy insurance from Tehran. Right now, crossing is free under an interim peace plan between the U.S. and Iran, but supertankers are still stalled in the Persian Gulf with about 80 million barrels of oil ready to go. Maritime officials warn despite this ceasefire, ships still face significant safety and security risks. Monica Ricks, Bloomberg Radio.
Italy's foreign minister has canceled next week's visit to the U.S. over reported comments President Trump appeared to have mocked the country's prime minister, Giorgia Meloni. Trump said Meloni begged him for a joint photo at this week's Group of Seven summit in France. She called the claim fully made up. Meloni positioned herself as a bridge between Europe and the Trump administration before the relationship came under strain when in April she defended Pope Leo from the U.S. president's harsh criticism of the pontiff's anti-war views. CNN is reporting acting National Intelligence Director Bill Pulte is looking to make major staffing changes, including hundreds of cuts. Pulte reportedly asked for a list of employees during his first day on the job yesterday to decide whether to fire them. CNN says he's also asking questions about his top secret security clearance and access to government resources. In the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer says he's not resigning and plans to run against rival Andy Burnham for his job after Burnham's decisive victory for the Labour Party overnight. Bloomberg's James Woolcock weighs in on Starmer's potential ouster.
Literally everything that President Trump said he was trying to accomplish with this war has failed to accomplish.
Bloomberg's James Woolcock on Bloomberg Surveillance. Starmer's struggled with political and economic problems, with government borrowing hitting a 2-month low thanks to higher inflation. Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook has received more than $1 million in support to help cover her legal fees. Bloomberg's Amy Morris reports from Washington.
Newly released financial disclosures show Cook received donations worth roughly $1.2 million to cover legal fees and another $5,475 in pro bono legal aid last year. That's according to the Office of Government Ethics. The money came from non-government organizations and personal friends. President Trump moved last August to fire Cook from the Fed's Board of Governors, accusing her of mortgage fraud. That ignited the legal battle that is now before the U.S. Supreme Court. In Washington, Amy Morris, Bloomberg Radio.
U.S. markets are closed today for Juneteenth, but global stocks retreated as investors weigh prospects for a diplomatic push between the U.S. and Iran. The FTSE in London closed down 0.4%. The CAC in Paris lost more than 0.33%. The DAX in Germany closed flat. The Nikkei in Japan finished ahead 0.33%. The Hang Seng in Hong Kong fell nearly 1 2/3%, and China's CSI 300 gained 0.2%. The White House is bidding farewell to Air Force One. The aircraft made its final flight to bring President Trump back from Europe earlier this week. There are 3 747-800s being outfitted now to serve as presidential aircraft, including a luxury jet donated by the Qatari government. At the World Cup, the U.S. and Australia are battling it out in Seattle as both teams look to advance to the knockout round with a victory today. Second round of the U.S. Open rolls on at Shinnecock Hills, and Clark Wyndham is your clubhouse leader, 4 shots ahead of Xander Schauffele and Matt Fitzpatrick. That's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Erica Herskowitz, and this is Bloomberg.